'cause I'd be gone, so gone, so gone, it's plain to see. And then it happens.
All right, we got ElectraJet. Yeah. Jeff ElectraJet Ward.
Wow. Can you grab your mic? We're like, we make you part of the family here. Wow, ElectraJet is no understatement for your guitar playing. You are like an ElectraJet.
Yeah.
Jeff Ward, oh my goodness. Now, come sit here and talk to us a little. You have a lot of history playing music, don't you?
A little bit.
You've played with some really interesting people. And I've been lucky to have you as a guitar player.
Well, I just played with one band when I was
And what's the
back
name
in
of that
England.
band?
That band was called Gunfire Dance
Yeah.
many, many years ago. But that was a long time ago. This is what I do now.
ElectraJet. Wow, that
And,
is just. Jonesy is an amazing guitar player. What do you say about that, Jonesy? I mean,
I'm hardly amazing.
no, but
I
besides that,
thought
stop
that
being
was really
modest.
good. It was very big sound you got. Was that were you in open G or open D?
Yeah, Open D.
D, yeah, I could tell. It was just so huge, and That guitar is cool with the resonator on it. It's real.
It's a
really
beautiful
cool.
guitar.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Dan Electra with the lipstick, but it's with a lipstick pickup, but it's got the resonator, which is really sweet.
Yeah, I have an acoustic version of this, and then someone told me I should get something like that, which I was happy to do. 'Cause it was just a.
Where'd you
pretty
get it?
guitar.
Is that like a one-of-a-kind guitar, or?
No, actually, it's like a reissue of a 1940s guitar. National brought them out way back when, went out of business, and then some company, restarted it in the 80s and went off the blueprints.
So how old is that guitar?
That one's not old, it's like early 80s.
So that's not old.
No, it's not.
It's not
antique.
old for a vintage guitar.
No,
but,
it's not an antique. No.
But what makes it an antique? Isn't it? How many years?
100 years, I think they say.
100 years for a
Probably
guitar?
probably not with guitars, but.
Because I know
that's
cars. I was surprised how little it takes to be
It's
vintage.
like 25.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, okay.
ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
we
Guitars are
are
longer.
mega vintage here on this show. I know I am. And thanks to Debbie, we will be like fine in vintage.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all
Green
like,
tea and broccoli.
yeah, and we're all just gonna get smoother and smoother and younger, but not chronologically. And I think that's a good thing. So how have your holidays been?
Very good, quiet, with my girlfriend's family, not my own family.
They're across the
They're
pond.
across the pond, yes.
Wow. So do you visit there frequently or not?
Yeah, I was there twice last year. I ended up going for funerals and weddings, and I used to go and play some shows while I'm over there just to, to have some social life. And
So where are you playing here next?
I don't even know, actually. I haven't played for a while. I've been doing stuff
Writing,
with.
yeah.
Whenever I do a book reading, I tend to take the guitar and do a few songs just to.
I've
bring
been
it to
reading. I haven't read the whole thing, but I have read bits and pieces.
Oh, okay.
But I have to say, just the title alone, every time I see the title, it just makes me, I don't want to say happier, but it's just it's amazing. It's called PARASiTE, Joyous Flashbacks Amidst a Crystal Meth Nightmare. And just that title alone, I don't know if it does anything to you, but it definitely does something to me. What inspired this? Do you have crystal meth experience?
Oh yeah, that's what the whole thing is about. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
And how long did your nightmare last?
It was about 6 months. I was involved with someone who was heavily into it, and being a
Were
rock
they
and roll
praying for-
guitarist, you just go along,
Yeah.
and the next thing you know, you're
Sucked
knee
in.
deep in a crisis situation, which is
Well, a
it's okay.
crisis is pretty normal for crystal meth.
Yeah.
It kind of like surrounds the situation easily. So 6 months is not that bad, actually.
Any time is bad.
Yeah, I could have probably handled the drug a little bit longer, but just for the writing, it's good for that. But I don't like to celebrate the drug because it's horrible. But
Did you find yourself feng shuiing a lot? I think feng shui came across.
think
I
it's
drink a lot of green
Yeah.
tea these days
Yeah.
just to get rid of the toxins.
Exactly. It can make you do lots of crazy things at all
Like
hours of the
clean
day.
your house.
Yeah, exactly. I know, it's true. So, what other things do you do? Did you draw that too?
No.
What don't you do, Jeff Ward?
No, the artwork is by the drummer. The band itself has never really been much of a band. It's always been more of a home recordings kind of thing while I was sitting at home writing, novels or what have you. But for about a year, I did have a drummer, Tom Gradante, and he did artwork, and he's a really wonderful artist. And
Nice.
so I just let him do his thing, and so that was just a nice way for us to record and for him to do his artwork. And
Wow. So how many musicians are on the record?
there's Tom and myself, and I play bass, guitar, and piano and stuff. And then my friend, who you know, John Vomit.
Oh, yeah.
He-
Oh,
he-
my
he-
dear friend.
Yeah.
I love John
He plays
Vomit.
violin, and that's it really. I think there might have been a couple of friends, like the engineer Owen, who was doing some backing vocals, but it's pretty much like a basement tape with a few overdubs.
Nice. And what else are you doing these days? Do you have any new books in the works? Or?
I just finished working on a new book over the summer. I got an injury at work, so I was able to take off 4 months and
Wow.
sit and write a book, which is much more fun than working. Yeah.
Well, that is working. See, that's the whole mindset. You think it's not working because you like it.
That's working.
See,
for
that's
a
what we
purpose.
have to change. We have to be in cahoots with what we like to do
Well, I
and
got-
make that our work.
Yeah, I got laid off.
Whoa!
If you like what you do, you never work again.
Yeah, it's all about enjoying the whatever it is you're doing. I mean, that's what I wish everyone in 2012 to do your thing and get money for it. You know, not even money, just pay your rent. You know, like
Sustainability.
be able to go
Self-sufficiency.
shopping at Gaga's workshop if you want to buy something. You know, what do you do as a job?
Well, I got laid off, thankfully.
Right.
So I'm back on the dole. I'm pretty happy about that.
So what's the new book about?
It's I don't know if you remember, there was an incident.
You don't remember?
No, I'm asking you if you remember the Tawana Brawely
Of
incident.
course. What are you kidding? I always talk about her. We're covered in writing with poopy.
Yes. Yeah. Well, she really did.
Al Sharpton got famous over that.
That's true. But I kind of got involved in getting some tapes from the family and
Wappinger Falls.
Wappinger Falls.
Yeah,
exactly,
I know Tawana Brawly. She was on the cover of People magazine for that.
Yeah, she got a really raw deal, and I wanted to try and help correct the record because I don't know. I just feel strongly that she got a raw deal.
What do you think she was like paid to do that, or like?
Well, no. I think the most interesting thing about it is that 2 days after she had identified the cop who
Racial slurs.
she claimed was part of the people who abducted her and raped her, he was found dead 2 days later.
It sounds like Courtney Love had something to do with this, doesn't it? Doesn't that sound like that Court and Kurt?
No, she wasn't in the public eye at the time. Maybe she did. I mean, it does have her fingerprints all over it.
Yeah, I love Courtney. Don't get me wrong, but wait.
I heard
So
she's the new leader of North Korea.
is that right?
They like her underhanded tactics.
Her address was printed in the paper the other day, and I actually walked my dog over there and wrote her a letter.
She got evicted. She's getting sued because
yeah.
she ripped the place apart.
Well, it looked nice. But back to you, Jeff Ward. Wait, so do you think Tawana Brawley, do you think it was true?
Well, I don't really go there. I think the focus for me is the fact that one day there's a news story about a young girl who's found left
Right.
for dead, and then within a week the story is about Al Sharpton.
Right.
And love him or hate him, he was probably the story, and it's more about what the media did to the story, and then I get into the parts of the story that I think are important and what her lawyers thought were important.
Now, were you in this country during that time?
No, this was 1987.
Yeah, and did you know about it then, or you found out about it
No,
now?
I heard about it.
There was no internet even, like,
Yes.
no. I remember.
10 years later, there was a civil suit because the guy who kind of got away with it, I don't want to say that because that's not fair,
Right.
but the person who was accused was able to get out of the situation because he's well connected in with his uncle and his father were judges.
Right.
He was working for the DA's department.
Okay.
So he was able to, the authorities were on his side, and so he was able to put a lawsuit against Sharpton and the other lawyers, and eventually the Brawley family. And so 10 years later, when they had the civil suit, a lot of the evidence that didn't come out at the time came out in order to take away the emphasis on the so-called defamation suit.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
It really does, but didn't it get turned that it wasn't true? Didn't it, like...
Well, the whole thing is, they say it was a hoax, and yet when she was found, her eyes were dilated, and the paramedics said she was a number 3, number 4 on a scale of 0 to 15, which is not something you can really hoax.
Right.
You definitely can't hoax dilated
So
eyes.
she was paid maybe to.
No, I don't think it was that. I think it
No,
was just
to undo it.
the press. Well, I said the person who
Right.
seemed
I
most
get
likely.
it. And then the
was
cop
found-
was found dead 2 days later.
Yeah, and that's where I go with the story.
I want to talk more about this, but we gotta run. Is there a skeleton? You have a recent skeleton in your closet? Because we want to share the chocolate,
no.
man.
This is the
All right, there you go. Here, have some money
Thank you.
for unemployment. We'll give you a lot. And chocolate. It's National Chocolate Day. And I
Thank
mean,
you.
you're really an interesting character, Jeff Ward. You're
I'll
so
try my best.
you're so civilized looking, but I think there's a lot in there. Are you civilized?
Yes.
Happy New Year! We'll be back.
You too.
Yeah.